Coming up, I'm going to be talking about how Bob Iger regrets his comments about linear television, plus also an update on Venu sports, plus an update on a number of British Disney Plus originals. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. So let's start off with talking about Venu Sports. So last week, the new sports streaming service, which was set to launch this month, and it was going to cost $43 a month, and it was also going to be able to be bundled in with Disney Plus and Max, was going to bring together all of the content from ESPN along with Warner Bros. Discovery and Fox and all of the ESPN content, all their sports stuff together in one package. Unfortunately, Fubo didn't like the idea of this platform launching, and so they ended up taking it to court because in their eyes it was anti-competitive because they weren't able to get that same deal. And also that if this new streaming service launched, they were likely to go bankrupt. The judge agreed that it was anti-competitive and therefore put a temporary injunction to stop the launch of Venu Sports. Now, all three major companies had put in about $400 million. Now, I think that's more they'd allocated. I can't see how they've put that money in because as of yet, they've literally just built a platform. They haven't spent any money on advertising or anything like that. I suspect most of that is cost that it's not no way they're going to cost them that much. I can't see. Well, as you might expect, they have now put in an appeal to try and stop and get rid of that injunction so they can launch it. Does mean they're going to miss the early part of the NFL season because it's going to probably be a couple of months until this comes through. Now, I wouldn't be at all surprised if this fails, if they don't get an appeal, or if it does go to court and they lose again. That'll be the end of Venu Sports. They did state right back when they initially announced it that it was down to regulatory approval. There's a lot of questions coming in from senators and stuff. I'm not sure this will actually get through, and therefore I'm very skeptical that Venu Sports will actually ever launch. I always felt it was a bit of a stopgap to fill in the void while people were leaving linear television. But also, especially when you put all those major platforms together, it's kind of the legacy of that does not look good, especially for people that are kind of used to television. Now, there was a lot of people that were looking forward to the launch of Venu Sports because it could save them money. But again, you put all that stuff together, in the long run, probably not the best thing for consumers. And ultimately, you still would have needed to get a hold of Peacock and Paramount Plus to get access to other sports and stuff anyway. So you weren't getting everything through it. But personally, I think Disney should just throw this one away, keep the linear stuff with whatever they're running right now, get that last bit of cash that they can, and then put all their efforts into launching the full version of ESPN next summer and focus on that instead of wasting millions and millions of dollars on this kind of half-assed, last-minute ditch for sports. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about some Disney Plus originals coming from the UK. So at the Edinburgh TV Festival, a few little snippets of news came out. So first off, it's been revealed that the series Rivals will be dropping onto Disney Plus and on Hulu in the United States on October the 18th. We'll be getting all of the episodes at once. The series is set against the backdrop of drama, excess, and shocking antics of the power-grabbing social elite of the 1980s England and stars David Tennant. I'm really looking forward to watching this one. It's got David Tennant in. Gonna watch it, give it a go. The fact that we're getting all episodes at once rather than feeding them out. But yeah, this one's going to be very interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to watching this one. Disney has released some new images of an upcoming British original series called 1,000 Blows, which is set in the illegal world of boxing in 1880s Victoria, London, and it comes from the mind of Stephen Knight, who is behind Peaky Blinders. It has been announced it's going to be coming out on Disney Plus around the world and on Hulu in the United States in 2025. They also confirmed that a second season has already been filmed, and that'll be coming out at a later date, and they're going to be releasing more details on that as well at a later date. So the fact that they filmed both seasons back to back, that's good. Now you could say, well, was this just a 12-episode series and they cut it in two and make two series? But yeah, it's good. The fact that we're getting two seasons of it. It looks pretty good. I'm definitely going to watch it. I like the things, classic Victoria England about boxing. Sounds like it's going to be gritty, and the fact that it's from Peaky Blinders creator. Definitely going to check that one out. We also got the new trailer for the upcoming series on Vogue, which is going to be coming out in September. They're going to be doing two different batch drops on the 13th and then on the 20th of September. I'm not going to lie, the trailer for me I've got no interest in this at all. 90s, they're definitely an era I'm interested in. But as far as fashion goes, I was very much in kind of the Seattle grunge thing of, t-shirt, checkered shirt, that was about it for me. I am not into fashion. This one, the trailer was just like, yeah, if you like fashion, I'm sure you're going to love it. Loads of big celebrities and stuff in here talking about fashion and stuff. Honestly, but for me, couldn't care less. Nevertheless, let me know. Are you excited to watch In Vogue? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about Bob Iger's big mistake. So you might remember last year, he took part in an interview with CNBC where he kind of revealed that linear networks may not be core to the business. Now, by the sounds of it, this caused chaos for Disney backstage, because recently, while on an interview on the Let's Talk Off Camera with Kelly Ripa podcast, Bob Iger was asked about one of his biggest mistakes at Disney, and Kelly hinted at the problems that were caused by Bob saying this during the interview. He said, "I wasn't wrong about my observation, and it wasn't necessary for me to utter those words publicly because it caused an incredible amount of anxiety. I should have been more sensitive to how those words would be not just interpreted, but how they would be felt by people who are really important to me, who are even Disney legends." He went on to explain, "I was intent on communicating to Wall Street and open-mindedness in general about our business in the future, and I wanted them to know that this was after I came back to Disney, that my head was not in the sand." So obviously this is in reference to the idea that, linear is slowly dying and the world's moving all over to streaming. And so he's saying, I'm looking at maybe selling some of these assets off. And on one hand, he's trying to keep Wall Street happy, but then obviously by the sounds of it, chaos erupted within Disney because of the idea that all these networks could be closed down. What's going to happen to them? What's the future of the studios? Are they selling off FX, Nat Geo? You can imagine the panic of people worrying about their jobs, about what they're doing. And yeah, unsurprisingly, I think he definitely realised it. Now, personally, I think with linear, we are going to see Disney pulling back. I think we are going to see them closing some channels. They've got an upcoming carriage dispute with DirecTV. It's likely to result in more channels being removed from that platform. And then whether or not some of those channels continue, if too many big networks drop them, who knows? I do think linear is going to go eventually, or at least just slim down to a lot less. And it makes sense for Disney to try and get as much money out of it as possible and start, just getting that content onto streaming as more people move over to it. But it definitely sent off warning signals, I think, that people were worried about the future of linear television, and especially for those that have been involved in it for a long time. Just very interesting to see how he was talking about this situation, and it's definitely highlighting, I think, an issue that they are facing. We're also seeing kind of Warner Brothers and Paramount and Comcast. They're all kind of dealing with the same problem of trying to balance linear along with streaming. Something like Netflix and Amazon don't have to deal with because they've just picked a lane and they've gone into it. But it's very hard for business to stop pulling in money from a big business, from a business that's successful, and doing something different. But it definitely sounds very interesting with this, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you think Bob was right? Did you think he was wrong? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. And our question of the day, which comes from Kuma-chan, who says, any idea when Alien Romulus will be on Disney+? So obviously Alien Romulus has only just come out in cinemas, so we can be safe to assure that this film is not going to be hitting Disney+, in at least a month or so time. It's going to be much longer. Now, traditionally, I tend to think about 3 months is a good kind of timeline for most movies. Sometimes they go a little bit later. Sometimes they go to 4, 5 months. And occasionally they come even quicker. 60 days, kind of 2 months kind of thing. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere between 2 and 3 months, because there's a little thing called Halloween at the end of October. So therefore, if we got to say maybe the 15th, 20th of October, it would have been 60 days. The movie would have done most of its money at the box office by then. And then they can kind of get it on there and do a nice big boost for the Halloween season. So that's one theory. Obviously, the other idea is then if you're going for exactly 3 months, then you're going to be looking into November, maybe just in time for Thanksgiving. But I think that's probably more likely going to be Deadpool territory for Disney Plus and Hulu by then. But so therefore, if maybe we get Inside Out end of September, maybe get Alien in October, and then we get Deadpool in November. That'll be kind of a nice monthly movie thing. But yeah, I wouldn't expect it at least until October, November at the earliest. I mean, sometimes they can be a little bit quicker with that 20th century stuff, but yeah, I would not expect it anytime before then. But let me know, when do you think Alien Romulus will hit Disney+? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Drop us a question as well for tomorrow's video. If it's cool, I will pick it out. Also, you can support us with hitting that subscribe button and also the join button to join up our membership program. Really helps support the channel. On that note, guys, thank you very much. See you guys soon. Laters.